students are unaware of such things. Like it's a really very great opportunity, a very open source program in that
Yeah.
we must apply at least once.
Yeah, definitely. And now you have so many YouTube channels and people on LinkedIn sharing opportunities here and there just when they come. So it's very great now for the students who are not even from premier institutes to get to know about opportunities and apply for them and then get selected as well.
Everyone, today I'm back with a new podcast with a speaker, Vani Chitkara. She's a student in IGDTU. She's a very passionate about web development, blog writing, and also cloud technology. And she's an intern fellow in Outreachy, and she's also a scholar in Grace Hooper celebration. So to know more about her, let us have an introduction from Vani.
So yeah. So hello everyone, I'm Vani Chitkara. As he already told that I'm a pre-final year EC student from IGDTU, and currently I'm interning at Outreachy and I'm working with Open Archive Foundation, and I'm also a Google Developer Student Club lead and a GHC scholar. So that's all about me.
Okay, that's great. So now we are moving to the outreachy part that we will talk about it. So we will start with the basic question, that is, what is an outreachy?
So
How did you come
Outreachy
to
is
know
an
about
open
it?
source. Yeah, so Outreach is an open source program that's solely for the people who face discrimination in their learning environment and come from a minority background, like people from India, like girls and some minority communities that face discrimination due to their learning environment, which hampers their education. So Outreach focuses on these people and moves them, helps them to move forward to contribute to open source. So I got to know about this program last year October when Hacktoberfest was about to start, and there was very much hype around open source and like Hacktoberfest is gonna be back and there would be the chance to help contribute to open source. So during that time I saw a YouTube video that told about many open source programs except for Hacktoberfest as well. So from that I came to know about Outreachy, and when I got to know that the applications would be opening in February, so I thought that I'd be applying. So it was my first time to apply, and I was very sure if I would be able to get in or not. But I tried my best, and I gave my best, and the result is with you.
Okay, that's great. So actually, it is conducted 2 times in a year, like
Yeah,
in winter and
May and
summer
then
also.
December. Yeah,
So I think right now the application is open for the winter one
winter
in the month
cohort.
of
Yeah,
September. Yes.
yeah.
So and it is basically for the women's like girls.
Yeah, majority of selection is for women because they are considered to be the one who are discriminated in the technology industry. But for some men as well, they have an intake because in this May cohort there were around 2-3 fellows who were males, and it is the same with the previous cohorts as well. So it's not totally for females. If you are a deserving candidate and contribute extensively to the community and the mentors like your contribution and want to have you as an intern, then they'll come for you. It's not like if you're not a female then they'll reject you. It's not like
Okay.
that.
Oh, so what is the eligibility criteria? Like means age restriction or something?
Well, as far as I know, there's no particular age restriction. Like even the people who have taken a break from their full-time job or are doing a part-time job can also apply. It's not only restricted to students, but for Indians, it is advisable for the Indian students actually. It is advisable to apply for the summer cohort because you need to have consecutive 42 days full-time availability, so
Oh,
which is not possible for us to show in winter duration, right? Because the winter vacations are not as long as the summer vacations and it would be difficult to manage along with college, so it's preferable to apply for summer cohort.
okay. It means
But for
we have to
final
give
year students,
we have
yeah,
to
but
give
for
a very
final year students,
we have to be very consistent about it, like giving our
yeah,
time which is required.
yeah, because the internships require 40 hour a week for you to
Oh
have a
wow.
full-time work. Yeah, so it means 8 hours per day you have to give, or like because most of it is remote work you do. So and it is like asynchronous as well because your mentor might be in a separate time zone as you. So it depends on in the day that during what time you want to do your 8 hour work. So it's not restricted to only 9 to 5 job thing.
Okay. Then, so what is the application procedure about it? That how to apply for it?
So the initial applications are open right now on the Outreachy website. You go there, you apply, they ask you about your previous contributions in open source, like what all experience do you have you ever contributed in a documentation, have ever contributed in UI UX design code, any type of contributions that work. And they ask for some essays which are very important, because through your essays only you will be able to showcase the discrimination that you have faced and why you deserve to be an outreach intern.
Okay.
And then when you're writing your essays, tell your personal story, be fully open to them, because they're not here to judge you, they just want to know about your discrimination and how they can uplift you. So write about your story and also support your story with facts and figures, because you can't blindly just say a statement without backing it with facts and figures, right? So that's the thing about essays. And after that, if your initial application is approved, sorry, so then you move to the contribution period, and then for a month, out of around 50-60 projects that are there for various tech stacks, you choose the projects that are for your tech stack. Like if you know Python, you choose projects around that. So choose around 3-4 projects and contribute extensively to them, and be in continuous touch with your mentor if you face any problem, and support your community over there. So if your contributions stand out and you stand out as a person, like you have a standing edge over other candidates, so the mentors will choose you as an intern, and then the internship begins, which is for 3 months. And you can extend that internship up to 5 weeks, just in case if you're not well or there's any other problem with you, so you can extend it up to 5 weeks.
Okay, means is there any interview part like?
No, there's no interview, there's no coding test at all. Just after your initial application is approved, you just need to contribute. So they see your work, they see your passion about technology and their community, and then they pick you up as an intern.
Okay, so tell about the person who haven't faced any discrimination, like, but whether he will be eligible, he or she will be eligible for it, or have a chance to get selected.
Well, suppose if you are a male who's from an upper community in India, is from a majority religious community, then you have plenty other opportunities, right? You have a pool of opportunities to apply. So it's better if you leave outreach to the ones who
Okay.
actually face discrimination.
Yeah, actually, and so actually it means in the essay parts, it contains, I think, four questions.
Yeah, 4 to 5
So
questions.
can you tell something that we must mention it, so that we will have a great chance, means more chance to be selected? Something very specific about.
Yeah, so Outreach in their essay guide, they mentioned that they want to know your personal story. They don't want a Google copy paste essay, because that's very generic. That doesn't show who you are and what your struggle was, what discriminations you faced in your learning environment. So tell about you, tell about your story. They really don't want to, they don't care about those copy pasted lines. Well, if you show your personality and you show that uh, you are a minority community and you really need outreach to uplift yourself and boost your self-confidence in open source world and want to get a head start in the technology community, then outreach is for you. And you should mention that in the essays, like how zealous you were to get into the technology industry, but due to the hindrances and the things that you faced, the discriminations you faced, it hampered you from getting into the technology industry.
Okay, so actually, the project which are given, that we have to select organization, we have to work under some organization, that so that what tell about it, that how to select, how to choose the correct one.
Yeah, so usually there are around 50 to 60 projects, and most popular tech stacks are Python and JavaScript. So if you do either of them, you have a plenty of options. But even if you don't know about these tech stacks, you can go with C++, you can go with Java. There are plenty other projects with that also. So Outreach advises us to choose maximum 3 projects. You can go overboard or beyond that, but then again, it depends on how much hours you can contribute and how much time do you have to solve the issues that are stated for us outreach interns. So like let's say if you have 3 projects and you contribute extensively to each and every part of each and every organization, the mentors will remember you, they'll remember your contribution and how active you were. So there's a great chance to get selected if you limit the number of projects that you select. Suppose if you select 7-8 projects and you contribute only once or twice, then the mentor won't recognize you, won't see that you are passionate about the organization that you're working with. So it's better to choose less organizations but contribute extensively to them.
So how should we come to know about it, about the organization that which is going to be suitable for us?
So, yeah, so first of all, when the organizations put up their projects, they mention the prerequisites, they mention the level of tech stack that you need to know. Suppose if there's a project which needs to know, which has a prerequisite as JavaScript, they'll mention that on what level you should be familiar with JavaScript. Like some projects may have prerequisite as a basic knowledge of JavaScript. Some may want you to have familiarity with it, like you have coded in Java, and some want you to be like extremely good with it. So it depends on what level of JavaScript you're comfortable with, and according to that you can choose the projects. And also they have written like what their goal is, what do they want to achieve in this 3 months of internship. So if you think that their goals, the project goal resonates with you and you will be able to contribute to it extensively during these 3 months, go for that project.
Okay, so is there any means things for the students, those who are from non-core CSC branches, like those who have want to apply for it?
Well, outreach doesn't discriminate on the basis of branch or any other thing else. It doesn't matter if your CGPA is not good or if you are from non-CS branch. Like even I'm from ECE, I'm not from CS, and my CGPA was just above 7 when I was applying.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter. So it really doesn't matter. You just need to be passionate about open source and want to have a spark that I need to contribute to this project, because if you contribute, that organization definitely gets the help, and then their project gets elevated to next level, so that interns who come after you, they have a better platform to contribute, right? So branch and CGPA never matter in open source programs.
So okay, so before applying that, can you tell something related to that? We must have some technical skills for it.
Okay, so even if you want to get started with open source and then apply to these programs, firstly you should know Git and GitHub, because it's a version control system that everyone collaborates on, and it's the most popular one. So if you have knowledge about version control, then you are definitely good to go. Having knowledge in one tech stack is very good. Like if you know web dev, app dev, even on a basic level, then it's good to go. You can at least get started with contributions, and then just as you contribute, you get an experience, and then you understand, okay, like you get a direction in further to move, right? If you know an app dev and then you want to know like what ahead, right? So like after app development, you like I made projects and then I did some cool projects, like what after that? So you then start contributing to open source. So it's completely fine if you know a little bit, but then you should have the passion to learn and grow as you contribute, because there are many projects which might interest you but you don't know the tech stack, so you can learn as you contribute.
Okay, so means so that can you tell some random figure that how much students get selected, like how much get shortlisted?
Like not even random, I'll tell you the exact one because Outreach publishes it. So for the summer cohort, they got 3,308 applications worldwide.
Okay.
So like around 700 applications moved to the contribution period, and then from those 700 pool of people, only 71 interns got selected, out of which more than 30 were from India. So that's a very big thing for
Wow,
us
great.
Indians.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, like there was a lot of Indian participation this time in Outreach, which really made me proud. Like even I told my friends and parents about this, so they were very happy that there are so many people from India who are now enthusiastic about open source contributions.
So how it is beneficial? Like what the things that we are gonna get it here? Like some stipend.
So yeah, we definitely get the stipend, which is of 6,000 USD, and like there are 3 feedbacks: initial, mid feedback, and final feedback. So suppose the first feedback is around 2-3 weeks after your internship begins, where mentors give a feedback on your work and how many times you contribute per week and how approachable you are to the mentors. So the mentors give a feedback for you and you give a feedback for the mentors. So if your feedback are good enough to go, then Outreachy pays you your stipend in 3 parts. Like they pay 2,000 USD from the first part, and then after mid feedback they pay another 2,000, and after the final feedback we are paid the final 2,000 USD amount. So there are 3 feedbacks and we are paid like that in 3 parts.
Okay, that's really very great and helpful for the students.
Yeah, but I'd like to mention one thing. Don't get into outreach just solely for the sake
Yeah.
of stipend. There's
Yes,
more to our open source than just
it's
stipends.
it's an open source which
Yeah,
is very beneficial for learning the things and
definitely.
collaborating
It
with the
adds a
people.
lot to your resume.
Okay, so means what is your experience like? You are working, you are in that, your internship is going on right now. So what are the things you are learning?
So,
How is your experience about it?
yeah, so my internship is more into research and branding. I am working with Open Archive and they have their open source app Save, which helps activists and human rights defenders to safely store their data so that whenever if their phone gets raided or gets confiscated, their data is safe and the police cannot like take away the evidences that they have. So do research about digital rights and privacy issues. That's my work. I research about these things and then curate content and then work on promoting the Save app because it's very useful for people, but but not a lot of people know about it, right? I don't think you might have heard about it.
No.
And it's a very useful app. So yeah, that's where we are working. We are working on the research and branding of it. And during my internship, if I would not have been a part of Open Archive, I really wouldn't have known how much like privacy is just a like it's just a myth right now. There's no privacy at all
Yeah.
because just say if you say that I want to eat pizza and the next time you are getting ads of pizza, so that's how limited our privacy is. Our phone knows everything about us,
Yes.
nothing is hidden from it. So during my internship, I got in contact with the mentors who are really experienced, and they really taught us a lot about our project and how privacy in general is important to us, and how social media is taking away all of that. So my experience has been very great. Like my mentors were 12 and a half hours apart from me in time zone. So usually my meetings used to be in night, and I learned how to keep myself awake during the day so that I have to be active. And I contributed extensively. And honestly, if not for outreachy, I really wouldn't have got that self-confidence boost. Like I was facing a lot of imposter syndrome before outreachy of like I got that outreachy opportunity.
That's really amazing. Great. So how you managing these things like along with your study, academic curriculum is
So
also going on. Yeah.
yeah, like college is just beginning right now, but before that it was my summer vacation. So I was doing the internship over summer vacation, and our mentor strictly focused on working 40 hours a week only, not beyond that. And we had weekends off, so we had a set schedule. And apart from that, I was working on some projects of my own as well, so I had to manage some time. So during the weekdays, I used to work for the internship for 8 hours a day, and then I had the evenings with me and the weekends with me. So I used to work on my personal projects and study DSA along as well because I had internships coming up too.
Okay.
That's how I used to manage.
So if suppose if someone got rejected in the first time, so we means will he or she will have a chance to apply for the second time?
Yeah, definitely you can apply as many times as you can. There's no restriction as such. There's only restriction on once you are an outreachy intern or a GSOC intern, you can't apply to outreachy again.
Oh, it means is there any that the person who applied for GSOC or got selected, will
Yeah,
she or he
only
will have?
those who got selected. Yeah, only
Okay.
those who got selected for GSOC cannot apply to outreachy. Doesn't matter if they successfully completed GSOC or not.
Oh, okay. So this is only the things.
Yeah.
And
Work
if you
is
want to say something more related to it, that things I haven't mentioned, some questions, you are free to.
um I think I've covered everything, but only advice I'd like to give to your audience would be to
So
apply for open source programs as many times as they want to, contribute extensively, just not for the sake of stipend or getting a good resume. Just contribute just because you want to. Like you have the passion to contribute and help the projects and the maintainers. Because with your contributions only, since these projects don't have funding a lot of times, if you voluntarily come up to contribute, even the mentors feel good about you, and in future you can get the position of project maintainer or vendor as well. So that's a very good experience that you can get. So open source definitely helps you. It helps you to network with people who are like-minded and who have the similar qualities as you. It helps you to gain technical skills as well. So I just like to say that contribute as much as you want, as much as you can as well. Yeah. So like even the students from tier 3, like even if you are a male person who doesn't like who hasn't faced any discrimination, you can add that you are from a college which is not very good and doesn't give you a holistic environment for you to grow in terms of technical aspect. So you can mention these things as well. Like for the people who think that they haven't faced any discrimination, if you belong to a college that's not IIT or NIT or triple IT, you can mention these things, that your college was not giving you a proper learning environment, or like your peers were not into technical knowledge, so that's why you felt that you don't have a peer group from which you can learn. So these things can also be mentioned.
Okay, so that's great, sir. Like I am from Tier 3 college, so it will my colleague, those who are it will be very beneficial and helpful for them.
Yeah, like tier doesn't matter when it comes to your education, but then
Yeah.
again, some people might feel
Actually,
that it's restricting them to
some
get
like
opportunities.
students are unaware of such things. Like it's a really very great opportunity, a very open source program in that
Yeah.
we must apply at least once.
Yeah, definitely. And now you have so many YouTube channels and people on LinkedIn sharing opportunities here and there just when they come. So it's very great now for the students who are not even from premier institutes to get to know about opportunities and apply for them and then get selected as well. Who are not even from premier institutes to get to know about opportunities and apply for them and then get selected as well.
Okay, so like this, I've taken many podcasts on a different intensive, different open source program. So you must apply for it. Like I have taken MLSA, MLH, and this again outreachy. Like this, we are gonna have some more. So take this opportunity and you utilize it. Go ahead. Okay, so that's great. So by this we have covered everything about the outreachy. And thank you for sharing your experience with us, Vani.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.